During the past 100 years, Ascended Master Saint Germain has concentrated particularly on the scientific field, because this is at once the most dangerous area now being plundered by earthmen, and also the area most necessary to the spiritual welfare of man. The ascension process is strictly a scientific one. It is neither mysterious nor mystical. Certainly it is not religious. Each and every person must learn in some embodiment how to raise the atomic vibration of the four lower bodies, mental, emotional, etheric, and physical. Each and every person must in some embodiment discard that disgusting ancient habit of dying and leaving his physical body lying around for someone to bury. In the New Age, with a tremendous increase in vibratory rates in and around the planet, the entire emphasis of civilization will be placed on living. The habit of dying will be forgotten as soon as the majority of people have cleansed out their etheric bodies by using the violet fire. The etheric body contains all records, all memories of past lives, back to the very beginning of our individualization as white fire beings. The etheric body is what modern scientists call the subconscious, which is perhaps as good a name as any other, providing its meaning is clearly understood. At the present time, the term is used glibly and in a meaningless manner. That situation will have to be changed because a person with a clogged etheric body can make little evolutionary progress. He must understand clearly that the etheric records of bad habits must be transmuted so that the tiny etheric filaments are clean and firmly woven in a perfect pattern of triangles. Whenever the etheric body registers disease or disharmony of any kind, the tiny filaments become disarranged and tattered. These records of disharmony remain until transmuted. Meanwhile, they are built in, embodiment after embodiment. A striking example of the horrible after-effects of war memories retained by the etheric body is now being illustrated on a worldwide scale. It seemed very noble back in 1940 to train young men to march forth and kill the enemy. Now the bewildered public wonders why we have so much juvenile delinquency. The answer is that many boys who were killed in World War II are back in embodiment, with their etheric memories of violence freshly imprinted on their subtle bodies. The sight of a gun, of a blood and thunder TV show or movie, membership in a street gang, or even a family argument is sufficient to stir these etheric records into violent upheavals. Yet the public remains captive to churchianity, militarism, and death, resolutely refusing to even investigate the glorious possibilities of living in a clean and wholesome world. In the following chapters are set forth the broad outlines of Saint Germain's New Age program as it has manifested in recent years, and as it will affect the immediate future of every earth person, indeed of every earth atom. Since the program is in the final analysis a scientific one, designed to prepare individuals for the ascension process, we will focus our attention first upon the vast preparatory work which was started in 1856 by that great scientific genius, Nikola Tesla. The Nikola Tesla story. Nikola Tesla was not an Earthman. The space people have stated that a male child was born on board a spaceship which was on a flight from Venus to the Earth in July 1856. The little boy was called Nikola. The ship landed at midnight between July the 9th and 10th in a remote mountain province in what is now Yugoslavia. There, according to arrangements, the child was placed in the care of a good man and his wife, the Reverend Mulliton and Djoka Tesla. The space people released this information in 1947 to Arthur H. Matthews of Quebec, Canada, an electrical engineer who from boyhood was closely associated with Tesla. In 1944, a year after the death of Tesla, The late John J. O'Neill, then science editor of the New York Herald Tribune, wrote an excellent story of Tesla's life and work entitled Prodigal Genius. As a reporter, O'Neill frequently interviewed Tesla and had the greatest respect for the Superman. But O'Neill lacked the occult understanding necessary to correctly interpret the extraordinary powers which set Tesla apart from this world. O'Neill made the common error of assuming that Tesla had died as do ordinary mortals, that his work was finished, and that he left no disciples. O'Neill could not have been more mistaken. In the first place, Tesla was not a mortal according to Earth standards. Being a Venusian, he is now able to work on Earth in his subtle body with far greater facility than when in his physical body. Tesla carefully trained certain disciples to continue his physical plane work under his supervision after he had shed his physical body. He entrusted Arthur H. Matthews of Canada with many tasks, at least two of which are of vital current interest: the Tesla interplanetary communication set and the Tesla anti-war machine. Mr. Matthews built a model Tesla set for interplanetary communications in 1947 and has operated it successfully since. However, he has tuned in only on spaceships thus far, for the set has a limited range. He is now engaged in building a more elaborate set and will be able to speak more freely of it since he is incorporating many of his own inventive ideas in it. The original design was given to him in confidence by Tesla, and he naturally does not intend to violate that confidence. Mr. Matthews has the complete design for the anti-war machine ready and waiting for any nation which has the courage to use it. Tesla designed the anti-war machine in 1935, but Mr. Matthews has worked on it constantly since, incorporating in it many major improvements. The remarkable achievements of both Matthews and Carr are covered in later chapters of this book, but it may be said here that Tesla is in no sense a disembodied spirit seeking to communicate with disciples and guiding them from the astral plane. Mediums who engage for profit, of course, in receiving messages from the astral plane have tried with vim and with vigor to drum up trade via the spirit or ghost of Tesla. But Tesla is not a ghost, nor did he stand a ghost of a chance of being a ghost. Tesla was an adept, an initiate, a Venusian. He was at all times earth-free. He was never earth-bound. Naturally, Tesla did not go around bragging about these matters. But when he did meet up with a server of the light, Tesla lost no time in engaging in a good talk fest. Both Matthews and Carr have carried out Tesla's work since 1943 without the slightest difficulty. When asked how best to approach the work of Tesla, how to understand his discoveries, both Matthews and Carr have a standard answer: if you wish to understand Tesla, you must attune your mind to God. Tesla and his twin ray, the white dove, who was his constant companion on Earth, are now working in the scientific department of Shambhala, and they do overshadow disciples. But it should be clearly understood that this overshadowing process, when conducted by an initiate, is in no sense related to any type of psychism or mediumship. Every initiate overshadows disciples, otherwise there would be no point in evolution if the higher energies could not in some manner direct lower energies. Every initiate must have disciples in the world of form. Disciples are called upon to operate typewriters, design machinery, and do all the other chores of the workaday world. A disciple is an outpost of consciousness for an adept.